Okay, it's April the 15th, 2012. It's 14 minutes after 5 p.m. And what I'm showing you is a branch, or I think a pine tree. And where there used to be needles on the branch, there's an orb cluster. And you can see the little orbs all over that tree. They've already eaten half of it. And they're consuming that branch. They're in the process of consuming totally that branch too. And slowly but surely they consume the whole tree, and then the tree is dead. And that's what's been happening to the trees here in Toronto, a whole lot of them. And it's not just the trees. That's been happening to birds, that's been happening to small animals. Everything that's living is falling prey to these orb clusters, and they're a very subtle predator, or appear to be subtle. I don't know how subtle that is, because they're just devastating that tree. You can see the little orbs all over, and that whole tree is just inundated. And it's not just that tree, it's every tree. And the branch is still intact, but most of it is being just eaten up. And you can just see the little orbs all over it. I'm just going to back up slightly. Look at the branch. And look at the branches below that. They're all dead. They've already been consumed. And slowly but surely that entire tree is going to be consumed. And those are the things that are doing it. They're not pine beetles. They're not termites. They're alien organisms. They're alien to Earth. And they work in large masses like that. They attack like billions of them will attack one tree, because they can be as small as microparticles. But when they all bunch together into a large cluster, then they act as one organism. And that's what they're doing now to that tree. They're actually acting as one organism by consuming the tree, all of them, at the same time. And as they consume the tree, they get energy, and that's how they activate. And that's why that part of the branch there is glowing, because the clusters are gaining energy and they're activating themselves. And as they activate themselves, they produce more of themselves, and they attack another tree, another branch, and so on. And this is like a wooded area, right? You know, right where people live. And this is what's happening to all the trees around here. They're dying, or they're already dead. And the city's cutting them down and all that, but you know, you can't hide the fact in a little while when there are no trees left, there's going to be nothing left to cut down to hide the fact that these things are eating them. So it's just a matter of time. But there they are in action. And like I said, they could be as small as microparticles. The orbs, I mean, could be as small as microparticles, or they could all bunch up together and turn into a huge cluster. The moon hologram is a huge cluster of them. And the hexahedron clusters I filmed, they're large clusters, made out of larger clusters of orbs than those. This is like on a small scale, but it's good to see it on a small scale, because that's where it starts. It starts on a small scale, because this is the subtle attack on living things on a small scale that you can't see. So people either don't notice it or disregard it as nothing. But this is the thing to worry about. This kind of a scale. because branch by branch and needle by needle or leaf by leaf, the trees are gonna, just vanish, because these things are gonna eat them up, because as they eat more trees, they produce billions and billions more themselves, and they'll just eat up everything. And they're doing it to birds and animals and everything, even fish in the water. Those things are in the air. What's next? What else are they going to consume to maintain that high state of energy? Just look at how fast they're moving. And that's no problem with a camera or anything like that. Those are clusters moving at a very fast pace. And they're going counterclockwise in their little orbits around the nucleus, all of them. Because there's lots more than just one cluster there. There's a whole lot of little ones. But they work together as one organism and attack, en masse. It's like bacteria. It's just like bacteria. They attack en masse. I'm going to back off a little bit. Okay, you see what they're doing to that branch? They've already killed most of it. And they're going to go all the way to the tip and, kill the tip too. And then move on to the next branch and the next branch. And then they'll move on to the next tree. And they'll just keep moving until they consume the whole thing. All the trees. And these are alien organisms to this planet. They're not from this planet. And the atmosphere is full of them, the water is full of them, now the trees are full of them, and all over the ground, everywhere. There's billions of these things, maybe more trillions. I don't know how many there are, but they're all over the place. And this is nothing to pass up as just, somebody talking crazy, because this is what's going on. Those trees are dying or they're dead. You see the branches? Oh, back off. Look at how much of that tree is dead. So, that's not crazy talk. That's really what's going on. And I think we need to do something about that before we lose too many trees that we can't replace them anymore. As well as all the other living things that are just disappearing species by species on this planet. We can blame each other, we can blame pollution, global warming. Yes, those are causes too, but these things are really doing away with a whole lot of stuff. And they're doing away with a whole lot of living things fast. Because they just multiply like there's no tomorrow. Just look at the pace of their movement. That's how fast they multiply. Sorry about hitting the camera. But that's how fast they multiply. Just as fast as they move, that's how fast they multiply. And the reason I'm showing it on a small scale like this, I've already shown larger things, but the reason I'm showing it on a small scale is because this is where it starts. It starts small, but it doesn't end small. And, today a branch, tomorrow a tree. The next day the forest, and the day after that the rainforest. And then there's no more oxygen. And that's what's happening in the oceans, rivers, lakes, everything, all over. It's not just this one tree. Just remember, it's not just this one tree. But this is the process that's taking place and killing off life on this planet. and you're looking at it. See all those little orb clusters going counterclockwise very fast? That's what's doing it. And they're not from this planet. They came from space. And it's all one organism. Those are just pieces of it. Every little one of those orbs is just a piece of a large organism. And each piece and the entire organism are very intelligent and very cunning in just the way they attack, and in a sneaky kind of way. You know, they don't declare anything. They're so unnoticeable, but they're there, and they just take care of business until it's too late to do anything about it, because most species don't recognize the threat until it's too late. So the question is, are we going to be one of the species that didn't recognize the threat until it was too late for us? Just watch that part of the branch there disappear. It's being consumed as I speak. One needle at a time. And more orbs being created through the process to attack more trees and more living things. I shot a video yesterday at Niagara Falls, and I saw seagulls in distress being attacked by these little orbs at their nesting site on one of the islands upstream from the falls in the middle of the Niagara River. I have it on video. And it's orbs that size giving seagulls a real hard time. And just, they're under siege. And all the birds around here that live in these trees, and any other insect, everything that's alive is under attack. Everything. We're going to be under attack. It's just a matter of time. Just watch how much faster they're getting. See the speed increase in their counterclockwise rotation? Watch, it'll speed up even more. And the air is full of those things. That whole wooded area is just inundated. And I'm sure the air all around here is full of those things. And that's no camera flicker or a pixel discrepancy. Those things are real. And that tree there is under attack. And that branch is glowing, because those things are consuming the energy of the tree and converting it to energy they can use. And they killed off most of the tree, and now they're producing more of themselves by killing off the rest of it. So today the tree, tomorrow the rainforest. That's how it goes. And every other living species on this planet is under attack the same way. Like I said, I shot a video that really disturbed me yesterday with seagulls on that island in the middle of Niagara River, up from the falls upstream. And it was just sad to see birds in distress like that. The same thing was happening to them that's happening to that branch. And they were being attacked by the same small size orbs. And they're not all that small. These are just on the minute scale. But there's much larger ones than that in the sky. Much larger. And in space, they're huge. I was blowing the branch over. See, look, the whole branch. That part of it, anyway. It's just all of them. You can actually see them all over. Those little orbs. So today was a small story on a small scale. But when you consider the outcome, this is on a planetary scale. This is happening all over this planet, wherever there's living things, especially where there are trees. So thanks for viewing. This is Super Mushmouth. Have a nice day.